Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the world-renowned Victory Drive podcast. I can say that now because I've been to 2 other countries, at least, hunt big game animals, whether it's South Africa or France that I just came back from. So I'm just going to stick with that. World-renowned, that sounds really nice and maybe adds a little bit more credence to the name, just fluffing up the resume a little bit. But we did just get back from France not too long ago, and I decided to rip out a podcast with Cole Thompson he's the owner of Illinois Deer and Beer, which is probably the most fun trade show of the whole circuit. He runs a great show in Illinois, and he's also doing all sorts of other stuff with his archery shop, his hobby store, and everything else. He's just got a lot of big things coming. He's constantly staying busy, constantly getting after it, just being, an entrepreneur. I think he loves that word, so we're going to use it. And he's just a really good dude. It's really fun to hang out with, and just had a really good conversation. We also got into some maybe some sticky topics a little bit, and just had a lot of fun with this one. So I wanted to break up the France stuff just a little bit and have a different episode in between the pre and post France episodes. So Ashley and I will be recording a post France episode coming up really soon here, and we're going to talk all about the roe deer hunt that we went on and how much fun we had and all that good stuff. So that's coming up like next week. So we'll get into that at a later date, but I just wanted to throw in a different one just to break it up. No one wants back-to-back France stuff. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe you guys do. I don't know. But we decided to run it this way. This is what we're going to do. So moving on, just going to go ahead and get some of the business out of the way. All right, this show is brought to you by Grizzly Coolers. Grizzly Coolers, probably world-renowned. They're probably world-renowned as well. So, but if they're not, I'm just going to stick with the best fucking coolers that you can get. So check out grizzlycoolers.com. Use code WCB at checkout to save some money there and support the show and the network. We also got Huntworth gear, wore Huntworth gear the whole time in France. And their pants, great, very comfortable. And we just got it done. Huntworth gear, great fucking hunting gear for a great fucking price. So check them out. Use code WCB15 at checkout for Huntworth. And that'll about do it for that. I do want to mention Patreon to all the people out there that are supporting the Victory Drive Patreon channel, or whatever you call it, subscription site, whatever you want to say. But, I really do appreciate all you guys in there. My goal someday is to have this whole thing ran on, Patreon support would be amazing, and have very, very limited, if any, ads. Because I don't, I know how everyone feels about ads and stuff, but, at the end of the day, this is still time spent doing something that I love, obviously, but it's still a lot of time, a lot of background, a lot of behind the scenes stuff that needs to get done in order to make this show happen. And, it's just nice to, have a little bit coming back monetarily, and it'd be really great if it's coming from you guys, the listeners, because that just shows the support for the show, and I love to see it. It's just great. And, if it can be a crowd-funded show, that'd be absolutely amazing, and nothing would make me happier. So thank you to everyone in Patreon supporting the show, and thank you all to those future Patreon subscribers that will be helping out the show. So with all that said, please welcome Cole Thompson from Illinois Deer and Beer. All right, Cole Thompson, I'm real sorry about the technical difficulties there. We tried Riverside, and it just wasn't working. I having really bad lagging issues on the audio, and that's just one thing I just can't do that. So
Can't handle.
I can't handle that. So we're not going to sit here and look at each other's pretty faces. But neither of us had our makeup artist in today on time, so it's probably
This is better for that.
it's probably for the better, I guess. Just to crank her out the old school way. Here we go. You know.
Yep, here we are
So
on the podcast recording. Let's go.
yeah, here we go.
What is there? Here we go.
But
How was France?
dude, it was awesome. So I already said it once, I know, but it was great. So I ended up shooting 3 roe deer, and Kurt shot 3 roe deer, and Greg White, I think he shot 2 roe deer, and then Jordan Jepson's dad, he shot 10 fucking roe deer, dude.
Yeah, 10. What was he shooting with? Like, did he bow hunt them all, or did he just use like every medieval weapon known to man,
no,
available to
actually
the French
the
militia?
only people that were bow hunting, it was Kurt and Eric were the only ones that were like I would say quote unquote actually bow hunting, because they're like we're only going to use our bows. But Greg, Jordan's dad, and myself, I was kind of doing both. I would go out one day with my bow, and then the next day I'd go out with or like that evening I went out with the gun. The next day I went out with my bow, and then that evening I went out with the gun, and then the next day, and then I just went gun and shot 2 in one evening. But we'll talk. Yeah, it's like, so we were kind of like, the other guys were doing just gun, so it was really just kind of mixed. It was a nice mixed bag, I guess, of bow hunting and gun hunting. But yeah, no, he shot the 10 with a gun. I believe it was a 270, a Merkel. I think because we were both shooting Merkels. All of us were using the Merkel K5s, and mine was a 6.5 Creed, and his was, I think, a 270. So
what was his further shot? Because those deer are small.
They're really small. Yeah, I think Jordan's dad, he had some issues right off the rip. Like first morning, he went out and he missed like 6 times. And he's like, I'm not that bad of a shot. Like, what the fuck is going on? And they went back to the range and were shooting some. It's really like they looked over the gun first, and noticed that the scope ring, the rear scope ring was super loose. So that's not appropriate. So they tightened that, cranked that down, and shot it some more at the range, and it was fine. And it's perfect after that. Then he just went on a killing spree, and he was laying it down, dude.
I mean, how much meat did he get off of those, and how much meat was he going for? You know, like, did he have a goal?
Well, not so much with meat, because we can't. So we can't bring him home from a foreign country.
Yeah,
no, customs and shit. It's kind of lame. So we left it all there, and what they do with a lot of the meat is, I guess, they donate a lot of it and sell some, and then keep a lot of it too for themselves. Yeah. So it's just kind of whatever. But the deer are small. Yeah. So if you were going to live off of roe deer, like solely, I don't know. I have to like me, for my family, I have to shoot like between 8 and 10 deer a year in order to eat them all year round. You know?
Wow.
And those are
Yes. So you need like 50 of those.
Yeah. Probably. Because they're like a mature roe deer buck is like the size of a fawn, I'd say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what they look like.
Yeah, but they're cool. They're really cool. Super, super responsive to calling. It was during the rut. Super exciting. It was just a lot of fun. But yeah, it was a good time, dude. And then we went sightseeing, saw a bunch of, so we went and visited. Well, the first day we went and walked around Toulouse and shit, and then hunted, and then we went back to Paris and walked around there and did the whole sightseeing stuff. So it was cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But what have you been up to?
Dude, I've been just working, grinding, bud. Grinding.
God,
nonstop. Grinding and my son just finished travel baseball, so I'm a traveling baseball dad a little bit. So
damn. Hell yeah.
Yeah. We just went through 2 months of that. It was somewhere every weekend,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's keeping you busy. Kids will do that to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you do for a job essentially?
I mean, I'm a mixed bag, buddy. That's a convoluted question. I guess I think it's cheesy to use the word entrepreneur a lot, but I own some businesses, and I do, like, I have an archery shop. That's my main thing that I do. That's what I grew up doing, so I got an archery pro shop where I sell all your bread and butter bows, your Matthews, your Hoyt, your PSC, your Bowtech, your Elite, all
Yeah.
of those, and the full range and stuff. And I have a hobby store attached to it. So Slot and Wing Hobbies in Hunter's Haven and Champaign. So I sell radio control cars, boats, planes, and trains, stuff like that.
Boats?
Like boats, are radio control boats, bud. Yeah.
RC boats.
Planes. Yeah, RC everything.
Are you talking about, like, when you say RC boats and shit and cars and stuff, are you talking like the super wild fucking gas powered ones?
Yeah, gas, electric. I mean, they make electric boats that do like 70 mile an hour now.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Wicked.
That is wicked.
Yeah, my grandfather started the hobby business in 1965, so I'm third generation in that.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Third generation?
No, straight up, it's probably like one of the oldest, if not the oldest, hobby store in America.
Really?
I mean, 1965.
That's
I mean, try to find me another place like, that's, where are we at? 35? That's 55 years old. Yeah, 55. No, 60. 60.
It's a long time.
Yeah. It's a long time.
My dad was born in 63, so he's been doing it about as long as my dad's been alive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing since 2008.
Okay.
And in 2016, I started another business where I rent pedal bars, like party bikes. Business is Illini Pub Cycle. So here on campus, I got some of those. I don't know if you've seen them. People might see them like downtown Indianapolis, Nashville. They're those 15-person bicycle-powered bars that roll around. You ever seen one?
No.
Really? So you have no idea what I'm talking about?
No, I
want to get off
a bicycle bar.
Yeah, a bicycle bar.
So like you bicycle around and sell drinks?
So I have a driver and a bartender that are on the bike. So you rent the bike and you bring your party. And your party could be anywhere from 8 to 15 people. You hop on a seat on the bike, and at your feet, you got literally pedals and chains going down to the drive system of the bike. So, and here in Champaign, it's BYOB. So you got to bring your own alcohol. We put it in a cooler stowed away in the cooler behind the bike. And then my bartender serves you as you pedal around town on your own little private bar.
What?
Yeah, buddy.
So you pedal around on a giant ass bicycle contraption on the streets and drink?
Yep.
So does the person like steering it have to be sober?
Oh yeah. They're my employees.
Yeah, right.
So the driver and the host, the person serving the alcohol and the person driving the bike are employees. And 100% they're straight sober. But
like the people that the patrons are also pedaling?
Yes, the patrons are drinking and pedaling.
So you're powering it via alcoholism, but steering it via sobriety.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
No shit.
In a way, yeah. Yeah, dude.
That's pretty wild, dude.
I got 4 of those machines here in town, and basically it's the students that run that business. They just eat it up. The students just are renting those things out left and right for obvious reasons.
That's a kooky thing to do. Like, that's pretty, like, you see something like that, you're like, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah. No, for the students, I mean, they're like, they're going through freshman, sophomore, junior year, as 18, 19, 20 years old, not old enough to drink. But all the seniors that are graduating, they're renting the bikes and just having the time of their lives before they leave. So all those students have 3 years of just looking up to those seniors riding all the pedal bars around, wanting to do it so bad. And then finally their senior year, they can do it. So they just rent the hell out.
Yeah. And it's a revolving door. Like you're constantly going to have seniors. Juniors and
Constantly
seniors.
going to have seniors and new 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a good, honestly, a good, really smart business plan. Honestly.
It's been a great model.
Yeah.
It's been a great model.
So in Illinois, how old does a bartender need to be?
21.
Okay. So your bartender needs to be 21.
Yep.
But the driver doesn't.
Driver doesn't technically, but I like him to be.
Okay. Because then they can interchange if they had to.
Yeah. I'm just trying to, it's going to be a little bit more mature when you're over 20 than you are 18 or 19,
Yeah, that's true too. I can remember when I was 18 or 19. Actually, yeah, when I was 19, I was going overseas, so I didn't get too wild and crazy. But
yeah,
18 though. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We were all doing dumb stuff at that age.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Even into your mid 20s, it's like you're still kind of, it never really ends, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
No. I'm 38 and I'm still doing let's not talk about what I did before we start this conversation, but I'm 38 and still having fun.
That's right. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, dude. So you're just kind of because don't you also do something with like boxes and stuff?
So at one point, in 2020, I started an Amazon liquidation store called Bargain Bins, where we bought semi-loads of Amazon liquidations and we resaled it out of our store. But we did it by like price by the day. So like, you'd come in the first day when it was a fresh truckload, just a fresh truck out there, whole semi, and everything. No matter what you found, you could find iPads, phones. If you could buy it on Amazon, you could find it in there. You never know what you're going to find, and everything was priced at $7 per item. And then day 2, it was $5 per item. Day 3, $3. So every day we dropped the price until everything in the store was sold out. Eventually, we're just selling all the stuff for 50 cents an item, and we started over and restocked the store every Friday and run it all down again. So we were just literally wholesaling, reselling semi-loads at like flat rate prices. And it's addicting because you just never know what you're going to find, a deal, and then every day, if it wasn't worth $7 on Friday or whatever, it may be a great deal at $5, or, $1. Maybe you might find, 20, $15 retail items for $1 on Tuesday, a piece. So like, yeah, that business is still going. I had 3 stores at one time. We ended up moving locations on one of them, closing it down because it didn't really work out. Sold the other one, and I got one left.
Okay. So how do you even get into that? You just like email Amazon? Like, hey, Jeff, what's up?
No.
I want to do this thing? No.
There's like brokers involved that have contracts with Amazon that take care of it, and they look for any way possible to move truckloads. Gotcha. So you have to go through these brokers, and that whole market is very, very tough. Very tough because, as we all know, in this world and day and age, there's a lot of scams out there. And there's people trying to scam truckloads left and right out there, trying to pretend to be brokers. And when you're wiring 15, 20, 30, 50 grand at a time, like that money's gone. So you better trust the person you're sending it to, So it's a tough business,
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And then in 2019, I started Illinois Deer and Beer Fest.
So now we're on to that. So then you started doing Deer and Beer in 2019, you said. Actually,
yeah.
Let me think. I'm wondering, did I go to that one in 2019? I don't think I
Probably
didn't.
Not.
No, I didn't. Because I met the guys in 2020. So I would have, so I would have came my first one. Yeah, I met them in I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020 because it was we were it was the Nebraska show, the Nebraska whatever trade show, little trade show there, and we were all masked up.
Yeah,
masked up hardcore, and my wife had this weird little face mask thing that didn't do a fucking thing, and she got in trouble for it like a couple different times. She's like, "Well, this is technically a face cover, so leave me alone."
Wow.
Like, "Oh, okay, well, it's not doing anything." Like, no, none of it does anything, asshole. None of it does.
Oh, dude, if you can smell someone's fart through those masks, what are they really doing?
Yeah, it's just doing nothing. Doing nothing. But yeah, I mean, we met them during COVID and stuff. Then went and hung out and all that. So I think must have been 21 when I went to Deer and Beer Fest. Then
No, it wasn't 21 because I didn't do it in 21 because of COVID.
Well, okay, so
Yeah.
when was
Well, I mean, when in 22 is the first time I got back on it.
Okay.
So 2019 first show, 2020 COVID, no shows.
Mm.
You know, I actually went to a show in 2020 in January. It was the Indiana Deer and Turkey Classic. I was a vendor over there, and I remember, you know, COVID was a thing. It wasn't named COVID yet, but everyone was like, everyone's getting sick. You know, what is this about? You know, nobody even knew what it was.
Yeah.
And before this trip, I'm like, I'm gonna buy some hand sanitizer with things. So I was like, I'm gonna buy some hand sanitizer. I'm gonna buy this stuff on Amazon I just found called stanky ass hand sanitizer, and like literally like it was just a clear bottle of hand sanitizer. But man, when you put it on your hands, it's like it smells like just butt. You know, like
Oh yeah,
it just stunk so bad. So during that show. Through a show, I just stand out there and I mean, this is rivers of people. Like this is a packed show, and I was just standing out there in the crowd, like, "Hey, would you like some hand sanitizer? Would you like a hand sanitizer?" So I'm just giving people this stanky hand sanitizer left and right. And I mean, the crowd was so thick, like they literally by the time they'd realize, like, oh my gosh, what is on my hands? They'd be 40 yards down the road, and there's no way they're getting back because the people are just, you know, it's a river of people just pushing.
Yeah.
It was so busy. It was great. We had so much fun.
Oh, that's funny.
I got a bunch of the vendors around me. They were all hating it. It was fun. Fun little joke.
That's fun.
But yeah, harmless joke because it was actually hand sanitizer.
Yeah, it actually worked. So it's not like you were duping people. It just smelled bad. Yeah. But I do want to go back and correct myself. So it was 2021 when I met the guys, but it was gotcha. It was like January. So yeah, right there.
Yeah. So then 22 was the first show after COVID. It was like we're starting all over.
Yeah.
For me, you know.
Well,
it was like okay.
You only had one in technically before that, so it's just like
yeah,
it was basically starting over brand new.
Yep. Basically, I just got a real good idea of how to run the show, you know, and then I just had to work on, you know, everything, like just, you know, what I wanted out of the show and then how to get as many people there as possible. So that's why in 21, like, even though like the venue, they're like, oh, you can run a show, it's just we're in Illinois. So I was like, but you know, you're going to have everybody this far apart and we can only fit this many people in the building. And I'm like, no, look, I can't promote a show to get as many people there as possible under these parameters. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. So
yes,
so I put it off another year.
So was it 22 when Illinois finally started lifting some of the stuff?
Yeah, by 22 it was like, all right, game on.
Okay, so that must have been I must have went there then I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Because I've only missed one, and that was last year.
That was last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 22, 23, 24, 25. So this will be the fourth consecutive.
Okay.
You know.
So how's that start? Like explain to me kind of like the process of like idea into fruition.
So it really all started. So back in the day, my dad would host, you know, he owned the archery store, and he would host these banquets. It would be the big buck banquets. He'd host a big buck contest throughout the hunting season, and at the end of it, he'd throw a party for all of his customers. And so I kind of took that in like 2000, maybe like 12-ish. I wanted to do a big buck banquet, but I wanted to do it out at my farm, my dad's farm, and I incorporated all these games like. And a band, and we grilled out, and a big buck contest, and all this stuff for my customers. We did a 3D shoot. I came up with these stupid games, dude. It was like I did a climber race, you know, like, all right, you're going to climb up this tree. I'm going to time you getting to this mark. You got to pull up your bow. You got to take a shot at the 3D target. And it was like a triple, you know, like a, what do you call a triathlon? You know, it was like I'm rating you on 3 different parameters. And anyway, there's that game. I ran fake blood trail through the woods my idea was like, you know, I was trying to make it realistic and time you running a blood trail. And see, these are all just like, dude, I was like 20 something years old. He's like thinking, oh, that's a great idea. This would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, and so I literally went to a grocery store and I got them to give me pig blood. So I used real blood for blood trails. Now, the problem with that, which is it was a really good, like cool concept, a lot of fun. People loved it. Oh, no, what I did was I put a decoy at the end of it, like just laid it in the grass.
Mm-hmm.
And but what happened was the flies showed up and started eating the blood trail.
Oh
So,
no!
like, after like an hour, like there's no more blood trail, go back out there and run a new one. And then everything's so beat down in the woods by that time, it's getting harder and harder for the people later.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Like, it like you said, great concept, honestly. But yeah, once people start walking the path and walking on the blood, then there's no blood, and people are just walking in each other's paths. And okay, well, that's not like.
Yeah. So I did all these games, and then we did the live music at the end of it, and I called the whole event Haven Fest. So to me, that was like the first Deer and Beer, really. That was like where I was like, hey, this is fun doing stuff for the customers. They really liked it. It wasn't just something normal sitting around, bullshit, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, so like obviously I got busy with life and doing things, and then I started going to trade shows, as a vendor, selling stuff out of the shop in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Indiana one, the Illinois one mostly. I think I got around here and there, did 2 or 3 a year. And I like started getting to know these promoters and hanging out with them, and it was just like it became like man, I could do this, like that's just how my mind works. Like I could do this,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could do this, and I could put a spin on it and make it better. That's just how I look at it. That's how I look at a lot of things.
And you got that entrepreneurial mind, like you were saying earlier. You really like that word, so you have that mindset already. Where like, yeah, man, I could do the same thing, but make it like way cooler.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I took off with Deer and Beer. And like naming it was like, well, obviously one of the hardest things. And I try to keep it stupid simple. It's like you want to speak to people, through market, and in ways of marketing, and you want to find things they like. And it's like, okay, you could find one thing they like, or you could find 2 things they like, or you could find 3 things they like. You start to name something 3 different things, and that's too long of a name. So it's like something catchy, something short.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 things. If you don't get them with the first, you get them with the second. And eventually I got to Deer and Beer, and I'm like, that flows. Deer hunters generally like a beer, and it just kind of hit, and we went with it, and here we are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, names it's a very important thing, like when I was talking with the name for Victory Drive, like the podcast, I'm like, I spent way too long on a name, I think, because I'm just like, I don't want it to sound gay,
Yep.
but I also don't want it to be,
neither.
I didn't want, I was coming up with some names that were super long, that describe the podcast better, I guess, like that. And like, I wanted to incorporate like, maybe a little bit of SEO so people could search it easier and all this other stuff. Then eventually I'm just like, fuck all that. There's plenty of podcasts out there that are just named like something random, like poop, shoot, and fart, and whatever.
Yeah.
You can name it whatever you want. If it's good content, it's going to get out there to the people. So I'm like, I'm just going to get off the beaten path and just come with a name that I enjoy, that I think is cool. And I came with Victory Drive just because it had more of a backstory as far as like being, the road just outside of Fort Benning that was like prohibited for soldiers to go on because it's just full of like shitty tattoo parlors, strip clubs, and divorce lawyers. So,
oh wow, I didn't know that. It makes your name so much better already. Just for me knowing that tidbit, that's awesome.
Yeah, and like the guys that know it, like that get it, or like I've had a bunch of different people message me like, "Hey, dude, how'd you come with that name?" I'm like, "Well, and I say like it's a road just outside of Fort Benning." Like, yeah, okay. Or some other guys like message me like, "Hey, did you get that from Benning?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I did, absolutely." Like, some guys that get it, like they really get it and they enjoy it, and just explaining it to you is kind of like, yeah, it has more of a deeper meaning for me just personally, I guess, just because I went to basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia, home of the infantry. It's just like and is the name like every time, like when we left Fort Benning, when we had like a pass or something like that, because we got like a little family day pass after basic to go out with our families and show them around like Fort Benning and the surrounding area. And they're like, but don't go to Victory Drive. Like, you guys can't go to Victory Drive. All these things are off limits to soldiers that were stationed in Fort Benning, and they were all on Victory Drive. So
that's awesome.
I'm like,
and automatically when somebody calls you and say, "Hey, did you get that off of Benning?" You automatically know that you both have a commonality.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yep. And same with you with like deer and beer. It's like, yeah, you don't want to come with something super long, like, fucking Cole's Big Buck Contest Showdown and have fun drinking beer. It's like you don't want to come with something that over explains and it's too long that no one's going to want to ever say it or, whatever. So it's like finding that. And I've always been told too, when you're naming something, you don't really want to go over like 2 or 3 words.
Yeah.
Just because then it gets too long and convoluted. So.
Yep.
That's
I
awesome.
have Illinois attached to the front of it because that's just where we are. But it's also to kind of, I have to, just so everybody immediately knows where we're at, you know. And there's another show called Deer Fest, and I was trying to, completely detach myself from any sort of confusion from them. So
yeah, you're not going to confuse deer and beer with Deer Fest, So. Yeah. But you almost have to have the state in there because, like, Iowa Deer Classic, the Wisconsin,
right?
That one's actually kind of long. Open Seasons Expo, stuff like that. There are some long ones. Like, there's some other trade shows that they all have the state name in it though. So you kind of have to have that because that's what people are already used to. It is like state and then name. Like, I've always just called it Deer and Beer because people that we're talking about, your show, it's like Deer and Beer. We all know it's in Illinois, but you do have to have like Illinois in it so people kind of just know where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get people all the time that still haven't heard of my show, coming in the store. It's cool. It's better now because I always ask this to everybody, that walks in the door, whatever they need in the shop, I'm like, hey, about Deer and Beer. And obviously it used to be real early on, like, no, tell me about, it was just conversation starter. Like, no, tell me about it, whatever. I never heard of it. And it used to be about, obviously 5%, 10% of people, heard about it because of my social media presence and everything. But now, like 4 years later, man, I got people I've never seen before in the shop walking in, and I'll be helping them and I'll ask them, yeah, I've never seen it. I'd heard about it. Yeah, my buddy told me about it. So it's like it's getting so much popular in this area now. I just know that, like, especially this year, like, it's been growing every year, but this year is going to be a really, really good one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of one of those things too. You got to put your time in, and not people don't want to go to it's a lot easier to go to a show when it's been around for a little bit longer because it's like, oh, this show is actually sticking around. It's not just because there are a lot of fucking outdoor shows or sportsman shows like that are just like old, like rinky dinky, like just all the vendors. It's like a guy making leather goods, a guy making knives, and a guy selling like some of their junk. It almost turns more into like an outdoors flea market. And I've been my fair share of those too. I'm like, oh, let's go to this little show. And it's like, this is fucking lame, dude.
Yeah.
But it's got to be hard when you first start, like that first year or that year that's starting over and stuff in 2022. It's like, that's got to be hard, like filling it with good quality vendors that people are going to want to actually go to and visit and spend time in.
And so that's where I had an edge on the market. So, like, when I started, for one, like, I agree with you entirely. And when I built Deer and Beer, it was all about, like, I put it out there, like, hey, this is 100% sporting goods vendors. There is no flea market bullshit allowed. Like, I advertised that. I put it on my application so I stopped people from even applying. I was trying to prevent those kind of vendors from applying to my show. And like, I was all about, I'd rather have a small quality show than a big just bullshit show, so like to build it right. So that's the angle I took from, but the advantage I had on the market was owning a bow shop is I've done this a long time. I've got a lot of connections in industry. So what I did was I contacted my reps and I said, hey, I'm starting the show. I want to put a booth in the show. and I want to present it as like PSC archery, Tacticam, Bowtech, Elite, Matthews, this, that, whatever. So what I did was I filled those booths. I got all that, the booth, the Matthews banners and just the dress, for each booth.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my sales reps come in and man those booths. So you were getting service from an employee from PSC and all that, but I didn't charge them to do it. Obviously, it was a free booth space. It's my risk. It's my show, So basically, just how I handled it was the sales in that booth were through me. So my rep was there at no cost to him, but he's selling his product and he's supporting me, his dealer. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
had like 10 or 12 house booths in the show, but I was also able to advertise PSE, Bowtech, all these quality brands as being at the show.
Yeah.
And that helped. So that market credibility helped attract other vendors who were like, oh, wow, he's putting together good shows. A lot of good vendors already signed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gotta be a tricky situation there with the, you want your already established brands in there, and you want to make it I guess feasible for them to want to do it, but you also are like, well, I also, because you obviously everyone knows that these shows, like the show makes money from booth sales and then door sales, right? Ticket sales.
Yep.
But then it's like, but you got to kind of eat some in order to get, because no one's going to come, like you said, if it's like a flea market thing, because it sucks. So you got to, there's a fine line there where you have to play as a business wise, where you have to like get good quality vendors, and then also your smaller vendors in there and give them a chance and let them get their name out there too. But you have to get the biggest thing is you have to get people walking through the door that want to come to the show.
That's the biggest thing. Like I was talking to, I'm starting a fishing show now, Illinois Fishing Expo, and this was an interesting little tidbit. I was thinking, like, I wanted to call it Illinois Fish and Boat Show or Illinois Fish and Boat Expo. And well, man, I can't call any show Fish and Boat if I don't have any boat dealers already in it, because the boat dealers got to be the hardest thing to get involved, because they're hauling boats. How many trips to the show and setup and man hours and likelihood of them selling, a $30, $40, $60,000 boat, whatever it is, at that show. Like, they're taking a lot of risk and investing a lot of time. So, like, I'm not going to go ahead and name a show, Fish and Boat Show, unless I already have a boat dealer on board. So I start cold calling, all these boat dealers in Central Illinois around the area, and tell them what I want to do. Hey, I want to offer you so my thinking was, I want to offer an exclusive deal to one boat dealer. He's the one boat dealer. I'm advertising the Fish and Boat Show. All boat sales would be through this guy. And so that was my pitch. And freaking two guys I talked to were neither one of them like, I'd rather not have a proprietary deal. I'd rather there be more dealers. I'd rather there be more competition in the show I have to offer more. Because the more offerings there are, the more people that are going to come through, So that was their mentality. And I was like, well, I'm going to take that to the bank then, So still don't have any boat dealers signed up for that show. So I named Bill on my fishing. It's still going to take a few years. It's going to take a few years to get a couple boat vendors involved. They got to see that thing go, just like we talked about.
Yep. No, I get it. But yeah, like you said, I mean, that's a big investment. It's not just packing up, 500 different types of broadheads to go, put in a booth. It's like, I have to tow boats in there, dude.
Yeah,
like, that's a big deal. Like, I get that, but
especially if they're coming from 40 miles away. How many trips they got to take with each boat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and they can't just bring a boat and be like, "Hey, this is what we have." It's like,
right?
That's not a good offering. You can't name it the Fish and Boat Show and then only have like canoes and kayaks.
Yeah, exactly. That'll piss people off. Really, coming the door.
Like, seriously, I thought I was gonna buy a fucking bass boat, dude.
So yeah, a bunch of portraits of boats.
Yeah,
you could buy this one.
I have pictures.
Yeah, pictures of boats.
I guess you could sell your RC boats there.
Oh yeah, we could.
You could do that. You could do that. You just can't fish off it, but you can tool around.
Yep.
Actually,
Sure
that
could
would be
probably put a
sick.
fish. We could put a fishing rod off on them. They make
Yeah.
those. They make little RC boats, little fishing rods and setups. Yeah,
Really?
they're chintzy so far. They don't make any quality ones, but you know, it's a gimmicky thing that's out there.
Well, that's all right. I guess that'd be fun for some
Yeah.
people. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Well, that's cool. So you're starting a fishing show too now.
Yeah. Well, so what happened? You know, the Illinois Deer Classic.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Illinois Spring Hunting Show. I bought that show about 3 months ago.
The Illinois Deer Classic?
Yeah, the Illinois Deer Classic.
Really?
Yeah. So I am now the promoter of that show.
Wait, I'm sorry. When did you buy it?
About 3 months ago.
So this is fucking fresh news.
This is fresh news, bud.
Fuck.
I haven't told too many people.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, dude, because I know didn't the owner, the Iowa Deer Classic guy, he's the one that owned it before, right?
Yeah. John Bungie owns it. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
He owns the Iowa, owns the Iowa and owns the Illinois show. So I'm working with John, bought it off of him, retiring him from Illinois.
There you go.
And taking that over, you know.
Damn.
We've been friends for a few years, you know, and we've talked about it, and here we are. So I executed the deal and moving forward with it. So now I got Deer and Beer in August, and then I got that Illinois Deer Classic in March. But what I decided to do with that show is because that's 100,000 square foot facility. It's actually a lot bigger than the Deer and Beer Fest facility wise. Not, you know, when you're not including the outdoors. I mean, if people want to be outside, I got all kinds of room. There's 100 acres of Deer and Beer Fest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's huge.
Put some outside, but it's, you know, the Illinois or the Peoria Civic Center, it's 100,000 square foot of indoor space. So it's about another 30% bigger than what I have at Deer and Beer. But anyway, he hasn't had enough vendors to fill out that 100,000 square foot. So there's actually another 30 to 40,000 square foot in that building that I could fill out with vendors. And just being my first year, my first thinking is like, what's the fastest way to fill that booth space? And the best way to get, like when you buy a show, what the first thing you want to do? More vendors, more people through the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fastest way to do that. Being able to market to a new demographic, you know, entirely. So I was thinking Illinois Fishing Expo. I'm going to parallel, or I'm going to run both those shows. It's kind of a 2-in-1, a giant sportsman's show inside that venue on the same weekend. So I'll have the fishing expo on one side and the hunting expo on the other.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Because I mean, a lot of hunters like to fish too.
That's it, dude. That's it. How many hunters do you know that don't fish? You know, like every hunter you know pretty much goes fishing, but not every fisherman you know goes hunting. You know, it's not the same crossover.
I might be one of the only ones that doesn't really fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the best fisherman by any means, but I've been doing a lot more of it just because my daughter's really into it. So I do know my daughter, she'll really enjoy that because she loves looking at fishing stuff. She just loves it. I don't know what it is about fishing that she's just like in love with, but
man, I ruined my kids on fishing. I did the exact wrong thing to them.
No,
I took them to my buddy's 1 acre fully stocked pond and spoiled them.
Yeah.
So now if I take them to any lake and we're sitting there for more than 15 minutes, they're like, what is going on?
What are we doing? Stupid. Take me back to the pond.
Yeah. It's like, I shouldn't have done that. You know, it was really fun at the time because he's got these 3, 4, 5 pound stripers and you just throw whatever at them and they just, he has a feeder on one end. So he'll turn the feeder off. We're throwing hot dogs. You know, we're throwing hot dogs on hooks in there, fish. And they just mash them, and you're pulling and fighting all these big fish, and it's just a blast. It's fish in a barrel. You know? Yeah, it's fish in a barrel,
dude. It's actually kind of like if you were to have if you have a kid, you want to get him into hunting, and then you just immediately first hunt ever, you take him to like a Texas high fence ranch.
Yeah, it was dumb. You know? I wasn't really thinking about it like that. I was thinking like, let's go fight some fish and have some fun, you know?
Yeah.
And they loved it, but now it's just like I take them to anywhere where it's like really fishing. It's not. They don't get it.
Yeah,
they don't like it.
That's so funny. I think I did the exact opposite of you. Me not knowing about fish. I'm like, I don't know. Let's go to this little pond, and we didn't catch shit like at all. rather for hours, and just tying new shit and just I don't know anything, so I'm like, I don't know, let's just throw this rubber worm out there and see what happens. Let's throw this rubber crawdad out there and see what happens. Let's throw a real worm out there and see what happens. And just nothing was biting. And I was doing it like, I don't know, probably the hottest part of the day, and like not knowing what the fuck, like how fish work and stuff, and when their feeding times are. So I'm like just throwing shit out there in the hottest part of the day, not off the side of this bank, and just not catching anything. And then we started doing it more like when I did a mild amount of research. I'm like, okay, well, I think bass hit more in the mornings, I guess, is what it sounds like. So we started going out there in the mornings, started catching a little more fish, and she started having a blast.
Yeah, I was gonna say you caught a fish. It was the most exciting thing ever.
It was, dude, and that's what got her. She caught her first fish all by herself this year, and she was, because before, I would cast out and she'd reel it in, or when she just started learning how to cast and stuff, she would cast it and reel and nothing would happen. But then I'd throw out there and catch something, then she'd run over there and I'd hand it to her real quick, and so she could reel it in, and it was kind of like that little thing. And then this year, she actually, got the bait on the hook, threw it out there, didn't, reeled it in, didn't catch anything, throw out there, jig a little bit, and then she finally caught her own fish. She's like, oh my gosh, I think I got something. She reeled it in, and she got herself a nice little bass, and she was just over the moon. And she's like, okay, you need to take it off. I'm like, I ain't touching it. You got to take it off. Like, this is your fish. So then she took it off the hook and everything, and it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a blast. She just loved it. She's just like, I don't know, for like 15 minutes, she's like, I'm still shaking. Like that's awesome. That's so great. She's
That's
just
great.
ate up with it. It was so much fun. But yeah, no, now we're gonna transition into hunting. So she's gonna be probably the exact opposite of me, where she's a fisher woman first and then a hunter second, kind of deal. But it'll be good.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but yeah, no, but you
can enjoy with her.
Yeah, with your show though, having them both together I think that's a really smart idea. There's not a whole lot of shows that do that.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm able to market, like I said, I'm able to market a fishing show to, people who are just into fishing. I'm able to market the hunting show, and I'm going to get crossover. And, it's just like, I think I'll immediately be able to double the attendance. I'll be able to do really good. I'm sure I'll be able to fill out the vendor space. Because just doing marketing as hunting and fishing show, I already got more hunting vendors wanting to get involved, so it's like I actually kind of put myself into a corner. It's like, oh shoot, I think I'm gonna sell the booth space a little too soon, like I'm gonna start turning people away again, or getting a wait list going or something, and it's like, then what do? You're like, well, man, now I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, leaving a lot of, but then it's like, okay, now you separate them again and you do a second show, and it just gets messy. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens? Who knows? Maybe I'm thinking a little too hard about it.
Well,
do that.
Cross that bridge when it comes, I say.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. I call that that's future Cole problems.
Yeah,
he'll figure it out later. That guy will. But
Yep.
So how was it? So are you still gonna have it called the Illinois Deer Classic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be Illinois Deer Classic and then the Illinois Fishing Expo.
Okay, so it'll be two different names under one roof.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Same website though, or is it gonna be separate websites?
I took over the website. I rebuilt the website entirely, www.illinoisdeerclassic.com. And I started a new website, illinoisfishingexpo.com. So yeah, they're two different websites. They carry a lot of the same information, they both lead you to one. As an exhibitor, they're both going to lead you to the same exhibitor portal, so you'll be able to sign up for the same show, but it'll look a little different back there.
So are you going to have it like a one ticket price for both shows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When you get in, you're in. I'm not charging double for getting through the door. Are you here for the fishing and the hunting, or just the hunting? Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Okay, good. Keep it simple. That's smart.
Yep,
I think. And as a consumer, I'm like, I don't want to. I'd like to go to the fishing side, but I don't want to be blocked off from it if I'm more interested in the hunting. It's like.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 Well, you're awesome. Right. I could be like, hey, it's 10 for the hunting, 10 for the fishing, but 15 for both.
You could do that.
Buy the book. I could do that, but would I? I don't know.
Yeah,
Not first year. First year. I won't do
Definitely not. No, you have to see how it goes first. See where the wind blows you in the future. But I like having one set ticket price, even if it's like, I don't know. Let's say the Illinois Deer Classic. It's the ticket price is fucking, I don't know, what is it, $10, $15,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
Let's say that. Let's say it's $15 to get in. Then it's like, okay, well, maybe the next year after that, and, depending on how it is, like I'd be willing, if it's two different shows, if it's a little bit higher ticket price, just to have two different shows, like I would understand that as a consumer, but I still like just the one ticket price for both shows, and the freedom of movement between the two shows is smart.
I ain't trying to price gouge anybody, dude.
No, dude.
Quite honestly, I could. So the venue takes a percentage of the door. So like I don't get everything that's charged at the door. And the way their what do you want to call it? Their graph or their tiered system works is like I would make the same amount of money as for charging $10 at the door as I would if I charged 15 at the door, because they take a bigger price percentage the more I charge at the door. So it's like, so it doesn't make sense to charge anymore. Just charge down here. They're making that amount. It does, it's not helping me out. It's only helping them out. So it doesn't make any sense to do.
Yeah, fuck that.
We deter people from coming,
And do you still have to pay like a lease then for it?
Oh yeah.
Oh
jeez. Dude, yeah. You got to pay a lease. You got to pay. They get all the food sales, the beer sales, the beverage sales.
So they get a piece.
You have no control over that.
They get a piece of the door ticket sales, and you don't get any from the deer or from the food and beer sales.
Correct.
That man. So really, it's the venue's making out like bandits.
The venue's making out like bandits.
Damn,
for sure. That's Peoria. Yeah.
Holy
but I mean,
shit.
It's a nice facility, and I get it. Like they got a lot of expenses too. And they're really helpful. They're great people. They're really helpful. Got a good staff. And the venue's nice. Like everything about it.
It is a nice venue.
Great,
It really is. If no one's ever been to the Illinois Deer Classic, like it's a great venue. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, it's like, come on, guys. Come on, help a guy out here,
Yeah, like it'll be all right. We'll see how the first year goes, and
And here I was thinking, like every time I bought an overpriced beer, I'm like, man, Cole's making some money.
Yeah, right. No.
Yeah, this is great. Good job for him.
Well, hey, at Deer and Beer, I do get a little cut of the beer or on that show.
Okay, well that's good. That's good.
It's not all going to me, but I do get a little cut.
Okay, well I'll drink a little more beer at the Deer and Beer show than I do at the Illinois Deer Classic. Then,
thanks. Because every year, just so you know, every year on the after party, I have lost money throwing together that after party.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
Damn.
It's just, ticket sales, sponsorships. I've never really gotten enough sponsorships to cover much of it. And ticket sales, like last year was a great time. There's probably 150 people maybe there, maybe more, maybe got to 200 at one point. I don't know. But, even at $20, that's like $3,000, right? Well, the musicians alone cost me 18.
Yeah.
The stage was $2,000. You name it. I had $25,000 wrapped up in that after party. I think I ended up losing around like $8,000 on that party. So that was a fun party on me, guys. That was it.
Well, thanks, buddy. It was a good time. I'm not gonna lie. Well, not last year, but the year before that was a good time. With Cody Christian there playing. That after party did rule. But yeah, I mean,
dude,
fuck.
Cody's there every year. I love Cody. He's good.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah.
Dude, he's got the voice of an angel. Like, he's a great guy.
He does. He's good. He's good. Dude, I told him to, and we'll see if he pulls through with it. I sent him a link a couple days ago, and it was that You Had Me at Meh, the song. You heard that?
Okay. No, I haven't heard it, but I like
it's
it.
Like a spoof. It's a spoof song about deer hunting, and from like a buck's perspective, like it'll be funny if I told him he's practicing and get it down because it'll be a crowd pleaser.
Well, yeah. Who sings that song?
I don't know. It's just some YouTube fake thing.
I don't know. It was like
nobody's spectacle.
When Bone Collector came out with that album?
No.
Okay, so I don't know. I found it one time when I was looking up like So I put a lot of work into the audio I put on my Instagram, like pictures and shit.
Yeah.
And I just came across, I was like, I don't know, let's see if there's any songs about deer hunting. And there's like a bunch of fucking Bone Collector songs on there. I'm like, what? Like Bone Collector? Like Michael Waddell sitting here singing songs? They have a bunch of songs. They had like a whole album at one point, I think.
Wow. We have to get. Oh, I knew Mike, played guitar and sang a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had albums. I just thought he just did some covers or did some fun stuff.
No, there's like a whole album of Bone Collector songs out there, dude. And they're all on Instagram.
Damn.
Yeah.
You might have to pressure him into getting up there.
Yeah, tell his ass to get up there. 'Cause he's going to be there this year, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's hanging out all weekend.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, tell him, like, hey, man, get up there and strum a few tunes for the people.
Yeah. Please the people.
Please the people. They want to hear your sultry voice.
He's going to be hosting the Bone Collector Bash, and it's going to be cool.
The Bone Collector Bash.
I'm excited. Yeah. Are you seeing anything I'm putting on social media?
Damn, dude. Listen, I've been across the pond for a while. I don't know when you put this stuff out, but
I love the fact that you don't know at all. You have no idea what's going on. It's so wonderful.
Oh, damn. Listen, I'm kind of retarded, all right? Listen, I didn't know about one thing, all right, dude? Fucking give me a break.
No, it's all good.
Oh, that's funny. No, I got...
So the Bone Collector Bash, bro, Friday night. So it's not just the after party, Deer and Beer after party anymore. It's the Bone Collector Bash, hosted by Michael Waddell at Deer and Beer Fest. So Friday night, I moved the party from Saturday to Friday, by the way. If you didn't know I'm doing the Bone Collector Bash, you didn't know that either. So Friday, okay. Friday, it's a shorter day for exhibitors, right? It's like 3 to 8, So exhibitors get set up, easy day, 5 hours, right? And then we got the Bone Collector Bash right there to follow. I also changed the hours Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. show start to 10 a.m. show start.
Okay.
So I did that for a few different reasons. One, Saturday is a long day for vendors, getting there at 9 a.m. That means they're really there at 8. Freaking 8-10 hours of sell on concrete. They're tired when they're done with that day. They're ready to go back to the hotel, shower, go grab a bite to eat, get back to the hotel, and crash. You're tired. So that the after party, I never really got the vendors to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I got some of them there, the hardcore guys.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get everybody there. So we moved it to Friday. I'm giving every vendor 2 free passes, and now, and by making it 10 a.m. and not 9 a.m., I get an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah, that's true. That's a little nice. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and then Saturday night, it frees everybody up. So, hey, what are we doing Saturday night?
That's smart.
Do whatever.
That's real smart. That's smart to do because Saturday is a grind. I'm not gonna lie. Saturday is in any show during the trade show circuit is a grind just because that is your longest day. You're open the longest because, that's when everyone has off. So you're just kind of fucking grinding it out. Long ass time. Yeah. It's a good time, but it's a long time.
It is.
Especially when you're staying on concrete and fucking vans.
Yeah. Oh,
oh man, my dogs are barking.
Need some on clowns, brother.
Yeah, I've heard that they're nice. I just haven't brought myself to getting them yet.
Dude, they'll change your life.
That and Hokas. I hear Hokas are like super nice shoes, but I'm like, I don't want to look. I don't want how that doesn't. I don't know. I think they look silly.
Yeah, I do too.
But they're nice.
I like my on clouds.
Yeah, they're nice though. They make some those on clouds. They make some that don't look so terrible though. They look pretty nice.
I got some all black ones right now that are waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
I've had them since February, and I destroy shoes.
Oh yeah.
I don't treat my shoes well at all. When I buy a pair of shoes, like I'm wearing those shoes. That's just until they're trash, until they're done. I'm not the guy who has 3 or 4 pairs of shoes in his closet. And do I wear the blue or the gray today? I don't know. I'm just not that guy.
Me neither.
Yeah. So like, and these ones have held up really good. They're waterproof. Here I am doing an ad for OnCloud. I'm telling
Right.
you, great shoes.
Yeah. I've literally just got my work boots, my whatever boots, and then I have my Vans. My Vans I use, I
Those
go
are
to
your dress. Those are your occasion shoes.
yeah, my casual shoes.
Occasion.
But I also wear them to the gym because they're really good lifting shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You lift with your feet a lot.
well, I mean, when you're doing deadlifts and stuff, it's like I like a 0 degree drop shoe, and
Yeah.
Vans are perfect for that, and they're comfy for the most part. Unless you're standing on concrete for 12 hours.
Yeah, well, you can educate me on going to the gym. I don't really go to the gym. When I say I don't really go to the gym, I mean I don't go to the gym at all.
Yeah, well,
So
there you go, buddy.
I used to go to a gym a little bit and just train by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
yeah, I haven't been for a while because of France, but I'll get back into it. I'll get back into it. No big deal. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's just I like starting the day off. Being in the Army for so long and waking up and doing PT. It's just nice to get it out of the way right away in the morning. Oh, it's a
great way to start your day too. Yeah, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, start the day
accomplished.
Yeah,
first thing you do, you feel accomplished.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, wake up, get out there and get it done, and then the rest of the day seems nice and easy.
Yeah.
Get the blood flowing, some would say,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
You're making me want to go. You're making me want to go work out.
Yeah, well, you should. You should work out. Everyone should work out at least a little bit. Do something right away in the morning, even if it's just waking up. I even have a
gym in my house.
Do you?
I built a gym for my son. Yeah, I did. I got a freaking bench. I got curl bars. I got everything.
Well, get it out there and do you. You really don't have an excuse. And you're an entrepreneur, dude. You make your own fucking hours.
I know, but I work all the time, bro.
That's true. You're busy.
Shoot. I mean, technically today is an 8 to 8. I put 12 hours in the day. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about this podcast being part of that, I mean, I consider it a little bit of work. It's fun, but it's still work.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I wake up, I usually go to the gym at like 5 a.m, then go to work.
Yeah.
Like work, and then I work 8 hours at least, and then come home and I do podcast shit. And a lot of times, most days I'm doing some podcast stuff, then going to fucking bed and doing it all over again. Family time in the middle there. So yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you should go to the gym, but I also understand that you're a busy boy. You have a lot. You're wearing a lot of hats.
I'm just making excuses for myself.
You are.
That's it.
We all do. We all do it.
I do wear a lot of hats. It's a little too many sometimes, I think. But
well, especially now you're taking on another.
Out so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're taking on a whole other show.
Start a new one. Yeah.
Two more shows. I know. So now you're gonna be running 3 fucking shows, and your other 2 businesses. 3 businesses.
Yep.
Right? 3 businesses, right?
Yeah.
You got your archery shop? Yeah.
So I got a hunter saving, slot wing, line post cycle. Yeah, bargain bins 4, technically. I mean, it's all very consolidated though, like I got good teams, I got good people around me, I'm fortunate.
But still,
fortunate.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work for you.
It is.
But it's good work. It's not like you're not. But the thing is, too, like you enjoy all this stuff. Like that's a really big factor is that you do have a certain amount of enjoyment that comes from all the stuff that you're doing. There's a lot of people out there just slugging it out, 8, 10, 12-hour days at a job that they absolutely fucking despise, but it pays the bills.
Dude, it's just like I don't know. Like I'm addicted to. I guess I'm addicted to accomplishment. Like. Just that sense of feeling accomplished, like I ran Deer and Beer for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. I haven't made a whole lot of money doing it, but at the end of it, everybody had a good time. My vendors are happy. Attendees are happy, not a couple fires we had to put out, but not many,
Mm-hmm.
At the end of it, when that show's done and over with, the amount of rapport, a good rapport that comes out of it, that's all I've been doing it for. It just feels good. Yeah.
I
don't know.
No, I totally get it. And you're doing something good for the people, I guess. It's like bringing more people together. And I think that's one thing in the hunting outdoors world is that, bringing everyone together in one spot is a big deal. Like getting like-minded individuals together and swapping stories and talking about gear and other things. And, us hunters, we love talking about gear. Like that's one of the, the biggest things we all like to talk about is like, what gear you run on this, what are you doing here? What are you doing there? And swapping that kind of stuff. And the best place to do that is at a trade show. So you can get more and more people together to talk about that kind of stuff. It just helps grow everything, like rising tides lifts all ships kind of thing,
Oh yeah.
So
I'm so excited for the Bone Collector Bash for that reason, just because it's going to be such a good time.
Especially you're going to have Michael Waddell singing on it now, right? That's the thing you're going to.
He's not going to be singing. He's just going to be. I mean, if we all pressure him, he might.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do here is get him pressured into singing some of his Bone Collector songs up there.
He legit might.
Let's start a petition.
He's got some things. Some surprises planned for us. I think for that show, what we've been talking about, they're going to be awesome.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
So, he's got a lot of his sponsors. Yeah, Michael Waddell. He's got a lot of his sponsors getting involved. We're gonna have all kinds of giveaways. So like he's talking about, I'll in on some. One of the things, he's gonna get all the sponsors involved. We're gonna have all these little prize packages put together. You name it. He's got connections everywhere. Bass Pro, Yeti, Hoyt, Ultra, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have all these prize packages put together, and we're gonna have numbers on them, and we're gonna be throwing frisbees with correlating numbers out to the crowd. For change. So you, Jacob, have a pretty massive advantage standing amongst a crowd.
Hell yeah.
You would reach over people's heads and snatch frisbees out of the air.
Throw that bitch nice and high, dude. I'll get her. Ah, yeah. Fuck, dude. Why is Jake catching all these damn frisbees? I'm just plowing dudes over, fucking catching frisbees.
10 people get shoved over to the ground, and there's Jacob standing there with the frisbee caught.
I'm like that. I'd be like that. That really lonely bridesmaid just looking to catch that bouquet of flowers so I can get married.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be a full contact sport, but I turn it into a tackle football game. No problem.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. No, that does sound really cool. And like you were saying, like Michael Waddell, I mean, he's one of the big dogs. He's been doing this shit for a long time.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. How'd you get hooked up with Michael?
Well, he believe it or not, he called me.
Really?
And this is a true story. He called me, and nothing to do with deer and beer, but he got my number for my bow shop. We have a mutual friend, Mark Wimpy, Mark Wimpy's pretty well known in the industry. He used to be, he used to film for Real Tree, numerous 200-inch deer on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Just a great guy. Anyway, what kind of happened was, Waddell was in state in my area hunting with Jimmy John.
Okay.
And also, I guess Jimmy John. So Mark Wimpy manages all Jimmy John's properties for deer. So he's out there. He's doing the work. He's doing the scouting. He's putting in the food plots. He's managing it all anyway. And so Waddell, he got invited to come hunt with him. And he didn't have a tag, so Wimpy gave him my number to get him a tag. But he called my cell, and it was like a weird number, And when I answered it, and nobody warned me who was calling me. He
of course not.
Called me. Yeah,
Right.
And I'm just like, he said, "Hey, Cole, Michael Waddell," and I was just like a little bit like, "What's going on?" Like I was trying to take it in. Why? Because he started going in just talking to me, and we're just small talking for 5 or 8 minutes, and I don't know why he's calling me. Like. I'm just like on the phone with him going like, man, like this is cool, but what's this about?
Right.
Like, I have no idea.
like any good Southern boy just talks.
Dude, straight up. Yeah, dude, just talking shit. It was cool. I was like, right off the bat, I had a great impression,
Nice.
And so he gets into, hey, I need a, looking for a tag. I was told you're the man to call. And I have a licensing machine system, so I sell tags in my shop. And but I already knew right off the bat the tag he needed, they were sold out. He needed a Piatt County gun tag, and they were like, I hunt Piatt County, so like I got those day of. When they dropped and they limited sale, like they were gone. they were gone for 10 days before he called me.
Mm.
And so I told him that. I was like, hey, man, you're a little late to the show. I said, but let me see what I can, let me call you back, you know? And because there was one time where I was able to call in the Springfield office and get a tag issued. I can't remember what I did. Whatever. So what I did for Waddell is I did the same thing. I called Springfield office and said, hey, I got a gun tag for Pike County. Can I return it and have it reissued to this other gentleman, you know? And they took a little time to discuss it, but they made it happen. They were like, yeah, sure, you can do that. As long as the quota is met, it doesn't matter. So I gave up my gun tag for Michael Waddell.
Oh, okay.
Now, yeah. So I called him back and said, hey, man, I got your tag. You know, you kind of let him know what I did, whatever. He was forever appreciative. You know, he didn't ask for that. You know, like, you know, on my end, I was like, it was a gesture. You know, that's all it was. I didn't have it that year. I didn't have any deer I was looking to shoot. Like, I had an antlerless tag. My son had an either sex tag. Like, I was going to hunt with my son anyway, so didn't care. You know, like, my son's going to shoot the buck that comes out. Doesn't even matter. Like, and I don't have anything. There's no 180-inch deer I'm going to rip the gun out of my son's hands and shoot. You know, that I was
right?
after.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah, it didn't matter. So, yeah. So that's kind of how we met, you know. And he came through the shop when he came through to hunt and checked my shop out and gave me a little plug, and that was cool.
That's awesome, dude.
We just kind of stayed in touch, and then it was like, it wasn't for another year or 6 months or something. I just said, hey, man, I want to talk to you about deer and beer, you know. And I talked to him, you know, called him, he answered, we talked and pitched it to him, and he was all in.
Awesome. That's great. That's one thing I've heard from like Kurt and the guys is that Michael is he's just a genuinely good guy. Like, he's just a nice,
straight up
good person, you know.
It's straight up, dude. I mean, there's no reason not to be. He's had he's successful. He's had a great life, a great run at it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he lets you know it, you know, because he's just happy and all about everything, you know. So,
well, and he's super appreciative because he never forgot where he came from, you know. So it's like, he's like super appreciative of what he has and what he's done with his lives, his life. Yeah. And like, he didn't get there all by himself. He got there, you know, through his own hard work and dedication, but at the same time, like, he had help too. So he gets it. He's like, hey, yeah, if I can help other people out along the way, he's totally going to do that as much as he can. It seems like he just seems like a genuinely nice guy. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves with, I guess, quote unquote, like, celebrity type people, whether they're hunting celebrity or, you know, whatever type of celebrity, is when they think that they're bigger than what they are, or since they are popular or famous, then they can be dicks to everyone, you know. And I haven't met a whole lot of famous people. With some of the famous people I have met, I'm like, you're a real fucking tool bag, dude. I'm gonna want to beat the shit out of you. Like, you're not. Yeah. You are not who you portray yourself to be, and I don't appreciate that whatsoever. You know,
there's a few of them in the industry. I've met a few of them over the last couple of years that I've really liked. I'm just like, you know, like, it's just annoying. You know what really a pet peeve of mine, like, as just from a business perspective, you know, trying to run these shows, trying to learn, you know, like, I don't know everything, you know, at all. You know, I feel like I'm doing well. I'm learning a lot as I go. You know, like, and you know, reaching out to some of these people, like, hey, you know, these bigger name people, to try to, you know, see what they think about Deer and Beer, or the Deer Classic, or whatever. And they don't even return my call or my text, you know, and it's like, that to me is just, that's not cool, you know, like, in any way, shape, or form. And it's just like, that's where you feel like beneath them, you know. Is that intentional or not? Are they too busy? Doubt it. Not, I mean, at some point they should get back to you, you know, like,
I think so.
Call, text, or email, you know, whatever way. But yeah, there's been a few of them.
Yeah.
That's on the flip side of that, I've had several reaching out to me as much as possible, trying to be involved, that I'm just like, not the right image. You know?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
but I'm being really polite. I'm responsive, but I'm like, they got something else going on.
Yeah, I get that. Well, you got to protect your image a little bit from certain people.
Yeah.
And, whether they have a big following and whatever, or success and something else. And it's like, you still just kind of like, well, good for you, but not what I'm looking for kind of deal.
Yeah, and some of it's like they just want too much money for what they're worth too.
Yeah,
They're
that
trying
too.
to sell themselves, and it's just like, yeah, you're great, but you're not
Sure.
pulling the weight for the cash you cost.
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah, like me, it's like where I'm at with my life. It's like I still pay to get in these shows, so it's like I know where I'm at,
yeah,
but
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but I bet there's a lot of that going around. Like,
Oh
yeah, I can do this for you, I can do that for you, but you have to do this for me. It's like, well, I don't know, that may be that's a little steep for what I think you're worth, but that's fine.
yeah, yeah. Now there's some good guys that have been in the industry for a long time that used to do these shows all the time,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna drop any names because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but like, unfortunately, your time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have the following you once did. Like
Oh yeah.
those generations of people that used to love you, a lot of them are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the social media presence as a lot of these younger guys do.
Right.
Like you love them, but they're just not worth what they once were. And
Uh-huh.
it's like, I don't want to break an old man's heart. Like I don't want to tell him that. So
Right.
I'm like, trying to be really nice about like how I approach some
Uh-huh.
people.
Yeah, no, I get that. In the as far as the hunting world goes, the vast majority of people I met are great people. Like they're great.
Yeah, 100%.
The
Yeah.
vast majority of them, but there's just like anything else. There's a few bad eggs, There's a few
Yeah.
bad ones, and I think I've talked about on the podcast before about some interactions I've had. It's like it is what it is. It's just kind of like, but it is one of those things where I always try to be careful with I don't know. Let me think here. Join the military and getting like that, because when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I always had like self-esteem issues personally, for me personally, where I'm like I always just look at myself as like kind of like the pudgier little fucking kid that isn't I'm not a good talker. I'm not a smooth talker. I was never really that good with the ladies, and I had other friends that were super smooth, and had all these girlfriends and stuff. I just didn't grow up like that. I was just kind of like, whatever. I was the class clown for the most part, and did that kind of thing.
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah, but like I didn't have like game and stuff, and I don't know. I had like deeper seated self-esteem issues, so I covered that up. I masked it by trying to be funny and getting people to laugh, because that's kind of what I was like, at least halfway decent in school, in high school at least. So I just did that a lot. But joining the army really helped me with like realizing like, hey, everyone's just a person, no matter what they've done or what they are doing in their lives. And they all, we're all just people doing our own thing. So try not to put people on pedestals and make them out in your mind to be bigger than what they are, or because it's not fair to you or them. Like putting this image in your mind on someone else that's famous or whatever, or some type of celebrity, and making them bigger in your mind than what they actually are. And it's not fair to them for them to try to uphold that image that they have either portrayed on TV or whatever personality they're being. And it's like, if they're like a TV personality, a lot of times they're fake, like they're acting. So to think that you're going to meet that person in real life, it's not true, and you're upholding them to a standard that they can't live by. On the flip side of that, on the podcast, for me, it's a lot easier because I am just who I am, and I can't sit here and act and like we've been going on for about an hour and 14 minutes. I can't even act for 30 fucking seconds. Like I tried doing some shit on like social media and putting stuff out there and like promoting like the podcast. It's hard for me to even say any type of script, even if it's like, so I just don't do it because I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So I can't act whatsoever. So I'm just myself. Yeah, just try to be
honest conversation is an honest conversation. It's way easier just to roll through.
Yeah, and I'm not good at that kind of stuff.
If you slip up and say something you maybe should have said, hey, yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah. Like the one mistake I made, like I've talked about it before, like Tim Sylvia, I put him on a pedestal when I was a kid because I used to watch him all the time in the UFC, and he was UFC champion. Yeah, dude, I was a huge fan.
One of the ones you don't like, dude.
Yeah,
do we want to talk about him?
Well,
I mean,
sure.
I got a lot of history with him too.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I think you know that.
Yeah, I've heard some of it, but like the thing is, like the backstory on that is a little bit is that I did put him as a kid because I wanted to be a UFC fighter I wanted to fight in MMA, and I wanted to do all that stuff, and then I joined the Army, and my life took a different route. But like I did put him on a pedestal because when I was growing up watching the UFC, like he was the man. He was UFC heavyweight fucking champion at the time, and I'm like, dude, and he was in the Pat Miletich Fighting Systems gym. Like he's here in Iowa. I'm like, holy shit, that's pretty close by. So I was a huge fan. I was a huge fan of him, Robbie Lawler. Yeah, so I was a huge fan of him growing up as a kid. And like honestly, after hearing that, after his retirement, all that other shit and everything he was done fighting, and he started getting into hunting. I'm like, holy shit, that's another thing I'm into. Like that's pretty badass. Like Tim Sylvia he's a cool fucking guy. Yeah. And it turns out not to be true. I'm like, that sucked. Like that did suck. Yeah. As for me, as the inner kid inside me, I'm like, you know what? This fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I think I don't know if I've told you some things about him that I experienced or not. I don't know if we want to discuss them here or not. It's whatever.
That's up to you, dude. I don't care. Like this is an open format, and I doubt he listens to this fucking show anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's like
okay. Yeah. So okay. I don't even know if I'm gonna get the details right though. It's happened so long ago. Uh-huh. But it was just terrible. It's just like, this is when I knew he was just a bad human. Ooh. He is just not a good person. Like a friend of mine. And the start of the story is you're gonna know exactly kind of how bad this is. A close friend of mine lost his son in an ATV accident. Okay. Shit. 12-year-old son rollover, terrible, like just a tragic accident. not even like out playing it on a UTV, like doing dumb stuff. Like the kid was working on the it wasn't ATV, it was a side by side. So okay. He was out on a side by side working and just rolled it, and just a bad deal. Anyway, so big funeral and all this and that. And a year later, my buddy, he puts together a benefit memorial 3D shoot, an archery shoot on his property. And, everybody's trying to support him. So everyone's coming. Levi Morgan came. I came.
Okay.
Yeah. And a bunch of other people, showed up. Tim showed up. Him, like, he doesn't open. He's one of those guys that walks around and expects things to be paid for, for him, for him to be there. Like, he showed up to dinner. It was like, I don't know, there was 15 or 20 of us at the local steakhouse. And, time comes to pay. Well, when there's 20 freaking steaks, like bills are getting split. Well, he just gets up and leaves, like someone's going to pick it up. And we're talking like the father of the kid who passed away is the one who picked it up.
Oh, geez.
Not only that, at the time he's there, he's staying at a hotel, and like the checkout day after the shoot, after everything, like he calls up my friend, and he's like, "Hey, they said this hotel isn't paid for. They're asking for a card." My buddy has to reach out his wallet and pay for his hotel stay.
No shit.
Who lost his son? Like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah. Like, isn't that terrible?
Yeah, I don't like that, dude.
Bad fucking human. Like, you're just a bad fucking human.
That stinks, dude. That really stinks.
So from that time on, I was like, I don't give a about this guy. And every time I was around him, I was fucking with him,
Yeah.
Treating him like shit.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, but
Yeah.
just putting ghost pepper sauce on his forks when he happened to be around me at dinner.
Jeez.
And like
That's typical Cole shit right there too, though. You fucking
like I did a number of things. I've forgotten probably more of it than I can remember, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
man, your shit's a lot deeper than mine. I just got into a spitting feud with him on Facebook because he was on WCB's page talking shit about Big Time, and I like, I'm friends with Joe Humphreys. I'm like, I don't want to be. That's not nice. So I said some shit, and then he threatened to beat me up at the Iowa Deer Classic. And it's like, okay, whatever. It didn't happen. I confronted him, and nothing happened. Because it's like my daughter was there and stuff like that. And I'm like, if you really want to do this, like we can. We just don't. My daughter's here. I'd rather not get put in jail. Because honestly, it's a lose-lose situation for him. I don't even know why he'd want to fist fight me. Like that's crazy. I'm just a random fucking dude. And if I lose to you, like, okay, I lost a fist fight to the ex-UFC heavyweight champion. And if I beat your ass, then I just beat up the ex-UFC heavyweight champion. Like, it's a lose-lose situation for Tim Sylvia. Like, I was trying to not do that because, like, also, I was nervous because I'm like, I feel like he's the type of guy that would sue me if I beat him up. Like, if I beat the shit out of him in a street fight, then he's going to sue me. And I don't want to deal with all that. And I might have to stay the night in jail. And all this shit, like I don't want to do all that, especially with my daughter right there. But at the same time, I am a man, and I would do it, but I didn't want to do all that. It's just kind of like one of those things, like I don't know. It's just one of that sucked a little bit. It's like putting people on pedestals, and that really learned me a lesson too. Where I'm like, okay, we all are just humans, and I'm not even saying like maybe Tim is deep down inside, maybe he's all right. I don't know. I don't know him that well. Hearing that story sucks, but it's like one of those things where maybe he was just having a bad day. I don't fucking know. But I try not to judge people too much on their actions when it comes to that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's like, brother, like maybe we should be doing that kind of stuff, especially when you're.
Dude, that's routine though. Like, I've been around him enough, even after, unfortunately, to where like it's the same story. It's the same thing. It's the same story. It's just. And then I've known a lot of people that worked with him, filming him, and number of different things, and just nobody has anything good to say about him.
Yeah. I don't know.
Unfortunately, maybe he'll turn. A corner, and
I hope so.
Change actions. But
I do. I really hope so because I
maybe
do.
There's more to him that I don't see. I don't know.
I hope I hope for the best.
I didn't like.
Yeah, I always just hope for the best for people. I was like, I never want to wish ill will on anyone. It's like I do hope that he like turns over and is decent at the end of all this stuff. After everything, I hope he just turns into a better guy. That'd be cool. It'd be cool to see that.
Yeah, it would be
because he has had a cool, successful life for the most part. And
he just missed the money in the UFC there.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I don't know if he's broke or I don't know his personal situation. But at the same time, like, yeah, you were the UFC heavyweight champion, but at the time, the UFC, people that were fighting the UFC back then were all like kind of just like drunks.
Yeah,
like
he missed the money.
Yeah, he missed the money. He missed that money. That's for sure, 100%. But it is what it is. I don't want to disparage too much, but at the same time, like you do shit like that, it's kind of worth. You made your decision. You know what happens sometimes. Then you have a loudmouth podcaster here telling it the whole world. Yeah. But at the same time, like I don't know. I don't think it's like, what do you do? I didn't say it. I didn't do it. So the biggest thing with me is every action I make and everything I say on this podcast and stuff. I just imagine, if I don't want anyone knowing this part of me, then I just won't do that stuff ever.
Yeah.
I just don't do it. If it's something that's like embarrassing or maybe kind of shitty, I just won't do that stuff because I don't want to do it because that's not who I am. But I'm also not any different outside of what we're doing right now than what I am right here. I never try to portray myself as someone that I'm not, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And some people do that. A lot of people do that, actually. So it is,
I mean, I joke. My only thing I don't like a lot of people knowing is how I joke. I joke around pretty hard. There's jokes I love people to hear about, and then there's a category of jokes I don't want anybody hearing about.
Yeah.
You know, like they're just, you know, I don't want to be known for that, but it's fun, you know, like we all got laughs out of it, right? We all got laughs. Okay.
Well, locker room jokes are meant to be locker room, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what sucks about the whole Donald Trump thing when he got, busted with that recording about grabbing by the pussy. It's like, well, those locker room jokes, and unfortunately the whole world heard about it. So,
yeah,
it definitely wasn't his intention. I'm sure he didn't mean it, but at the same time he's saying it and joking about it. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I forgot there was some complete change of subject, but there was something cool. This isn't even about deer and beer, but that happened to me not too long ago running this archery shop. So I got called by a film crew for they needed some props for a movie that was being shot locally. They needed like archery equipment. They needed bows and they needed taxidermy mounts and all this stuff. Well, I was able to provide all this stuff. I was able to put in some mounts, my son mounts, and give him some bows. But the movie was starring Bryan Cranston.
Really?
Breaking Bad?
The Breaking Bad guy.
Yep. John Goodman.
Okay.
Yeah. And Sean Ashton.
I don't know Sean Ashton.
So, Rudy.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So they shot it locally. So I'll tell you all about it because I don't care. The movie's called Chili Finger.
Finger?
Chili Finger.
Hell
it's a dark comedy.
Okay.
It'll be released next spring of 2026. Excuse me. John Goodman's character he's a restaurant owner. And basically as the restaurant owner, he and it's like a chain of restaurants. Like somebody finds a finger in their chili, and they turn out to be, I don't know the correlation here, but they turn out to be related to like a Turkish mobster who tries to blackmail him. So that's the premise of the story. But John Goodman's character, he's also a Midwestern bow hunter.
No shit.
So, yeah. Huh. So he's got a cabin in the woods, and excuse me, sorry, clear my throat. Bryan Cranston is like his muscle man, his best friend, who's a muscle man, who, tough guy, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a whole lot. I got to hang out for a day on set with both Bryan Cranston and John Goodman.
What?
I was with him for about 6 hours. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's fucking cool, dude.
It was cool. I watched how a movie was filmed, for 6 hours of my life. It was cool.
Wow.
So there'll be 2 scenes, roughly with archery equipment, and I don't want everybody to hate me because I was helpful, trying to, when you watch these movies and you're like, God, that's not realistic. Why do they do that? They need somebody out there telling them this. So I had my opportunity and I failed.
No.
Yeah, like John Goodman. It was actually, what make the story even cooler. It was his birthday the day we were filming. So John Goodman actually spent his birthday with me, which I thought was really nice of him.
That is really cool. Good for that's really nice. That was really nice of him to spend his birthday. It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation fucking tree thing.
But so he's kind of frail. He's getting older, but he couldn't really draw a bow back. I got him set up with a bow, and it was a 50-pound bow. We backed it down best we could. He couldn't draw it back. So and they also wanted a bow that was not lethal, right? It had to look like a bow, like identical to the one he was supposed to be using, but it couldn't be lethal. So what I did was I took that bow and I took the strings off of it and I restrung it with peephoes, like black peephoes. So it looked like a black string, right? It stretched and it looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a string loop on it, and so you could use a release. Well, problem was he's so shaky, he couldn't get a release to latch on quickly enough for the filming. So he had to use it with bare fingers. So I was like, I'm not quite right with this bow, it's not going to look right.
People are going to pick up on that.
Yeah. And and there's just a few things. Now, I think maybe during the film, because I don't know what the final film's I'm not going to see that until the movie comes out, what it's actually going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
But, I had a few different things where I'm like, you should do this. And they were like, we can't. This will be fine. And I'm like,
okay, fine.
They're overvoting me,
Uh-huh. Well,
damn it.
How much pull can a fucking props guy have,
Yeah.
Probably not a lot.
Well, they didn't want another Rust situation. That's why they wanted a non-lethal bow. They didn't want anyone dying freaking by bow and arrow and
okay. I guess fair enough, but it's like it's really not that hard to not pull back a bow and point it at somebody with an arrow on it. It's like that's not like that hard to do, to just not point it at people.
Yeah. One of the scenes was they were in a house, and I think he might end up killing somebody in a house with a bow. So they had to point the bow at people. So they're the cameraman, and they're like, no, it can't be lethal because it's going to point right at the cameraman. So
should give him like a fucking recurve.
Yeah,
like a super weak ass recurve or something.
Well, they wanted something modern that looked, they wanted to comp out.
I guess cool. I get that. Yeah.
But John, a little story about John. Like, I was around. I didn't have any conversations with him, but like I was around him in his presence a lot, from standing 5, 6, 7 feet away. And like there was one, it's like you're getting that starstruck. Okay, who is this kind of like what kind of person is he really? And there was one time where he walked off set and he's walking right at me, and he just walked up and put his hand out and shook my hand. Never broke eye contact, and just nodded his head and walked by me, which was unsolicited. It was really cool. I was like, that was genuine. That was pretty genuine.
Did you get to talk to them at all, or were they like in movie mode already and just not?
They were. Both of them were pretty locked into character and running their lines constantly. It's it was a cool thing. So like we filmed 5 or 6 hours, but I bet that footage that will be used in the movie might be 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they just reran the same scene over and over and over from multiple angles, just over. So these guys, basically Brian and John, they were just running the same lines over and over and over and putting their little spins on them, for 5 or 6 hours. So, I mean, they were locked into that, and it was funny because like me, I'm nobody on the set, right? There's like 70 people and I'm like, I pick up really fast. Like there's a lot of different crews here working together and nobody really knows who each other are. So I just started walking around like I was important and I knew what was going on. I walked like right up, like I'm like right up on the scene, like just checking stuff out. Like most everybody's behind me, like just looking.
Dude, that's so funny.
I'm dude, I was just like, and I was like kind of like I didn't say anything to them, but there's a few people I was like, hey, that should probably, and like the message you get passed on. So like there's a few people there that like invited me to the set, obviously for the prop masters, and I could tell like they saw what I was doing and thought it was funny, like he's really comfortable and this is funny, like
dude, don't touch that.
Nobody said anything to me like to stop what you're doing. And the other big thing was funny. Like they didn't want any phones out, no video, no photos, that was big no.
Sure.
You might have snuck a little, got a little back in.
Pictures in there, just for my personal collection, guys. No big deal.
I'm not sending it around, but I'll show you a little something. That's cool.
Dude, that's badass.
I had to pick up some memories for myself,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Did they sign anything? Did you get them like sign a bow?
I got a picture with John Goodman.
Okay.
I got a selfie picture with John Goodman, which is cool.
Yeah. That's badass, dude.
I got mine and my son's deer in the cabin. So like when you see the movie and they go through the deer, like me and my son shot 2 deer together this last year. So I was able to get both those mounts in there in the movie.
Nice.
And a few other stuff. There's a bobcat in the movie that was mine, or that I didn't kill it, but it's just a mount I got, And there's an elk that I didn't shoot, but a buddy of mine's dad shot, which is cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, man.
That's badass, dude. That's really cool.
pretty cool. Just a phone call, boom, and just like didn't expect it, and yeah, a little blessing.
That's awesome, dude. That's really cool. They seem like pretty decent though. In
John
like, when they're
Goodman
doing it.
seemed decent.
Yeah.
John Goodman seemed decent. Brian, the only reason I couldn't get my picture taken with him is because he was wearing stuff that was very proprietary to the movie, and they couldn't get any. They wouldn't let any pictures out of his costume or whatever.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Apparel. He had the name of the restaurant on the shirt or whatever. I don't even remember what the name of the restaurant was.
Gotcha. Yeah. Probably not Chili Finger.
Not Chili Finger.
Not Chili Finger.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I always wondered that with like actors and stuff, it's like, because I mean, they have to like really get into their character. Like that's like a whole nother skill. That's like, I don't know. It's like, seems like a really weird skill to have where it's like, I can just pretend to be someone else that well.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. I mean, they were rehearsing their lines like in full character, like outside of the camera, like not even in front of the camera, just going over it, So like literally, like I can't imagine just saying the same damn words for 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like acting is one of those things where it's kind of like it seems way cooler than it actually is,
Yeah.
Kind of
like, I mean, you literally just got to lock in.
Yeah. Honestly, kind of like being a porn star too. Like I've heard stories from people that do that line of work, and honestly, does not sound like that fun.
Yeah,
it seems like a really good time when you're going through puberty and you're a man. You're like, hell yeah, that would be a sick. You'd pay to do this, and that'd be so badass. But then you like hear stories of people that do that for a living. They're like, it's actually like really hard, like it's like taxing and not fun, and it's not the same as like when you're in love with somebody. It's like totally meaningless. It's like,
so these porn stars you're talking to are like they just gay porn stars, or is that why they're having those stories?
Well, I don't know them. I didn't talk to them. I'm just saying I've listened to podcasts with them. Like Sean Ryan did a really good one with this guy. His name is Rocco or something. It was his porn name. I'm like, okay, cool. And it is actually a really interesting podcast. But I'm like, damn, that almost seems like it'd take the fun out of something really cool. It's like it's. I don't know. It's like anything. You make anything super fun. Like, okay, like shooting guns. Like, I love shooting guns. I love it.
Yeah.
But then when I was in the army really had a good way of taking the fun out of really fun things. Like shooting machine guns is so much fun. And then you join the army and you go to the machine gun range and you're like, oh my gosh, I just want this to be over. Like this fucking is so annoying. Like, cause you're getting yelled at, you're doing it wrong, you're doing this. Like, what the fuck are you doing, retard? And all this shit. And you just want to get down there and just shoot your 240 and be done. And be like, okay, well that was good. Like, all right, moving on. And then you go to like Afghanistan, and then you get to actually have like fun on ranges because you're with your bros. Then you get to have like really good high quality training and do that kind of thing. Then it's cool again.
Loose in the desert.
Yeah, but like in basic training and shit, like shooting machine guns in basic training, like shooting a fully automatic grenade launcher sounds pretty sick, right?
Yeah.
Until you're getting screamed at by a drill sergeant the entire time. You're like, this is not fun. I just want to get this over with so I can go back and be nobody again because I'm sick of getting yelled at.
Well, I mean, granted, the only time you're going to be busting fully automatic machine gun fire and in that situation is being under fire in a high intense situation. Like you're generally not just be blowing off freaking barrels of ammunition at nothing for no reason.
Yeah. But like in Afghanistan and stuff like that, we did a lot of like really good training too, and that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun stuff. Like, when you're training like for real and doing like real tactics and stuff, like not just like the basics and basic training and stuff, but like really getting to know your job. Like that is fun. Like that's a good time.
Yeah.
But like basic and stuff, fuck that. Like that wasn't fun. So I could see it too, where it's like acting seems like a lot more fun than it actually is. Like the end product is cool, but like the doing it part is like a chore. Like it's a real job, like you said, saying the same lines. And they're probably saying like short lines, but for a lot of like over and over and over again. I don't know.
Right.
Doesn't sound like a blast.
No, not at all.
But I don't know. Is there anything else you really wanted to cover? Like we got deer and beer and stuff, but can you remind us,
Yeah, we
everyone, deer and beer is coming up soon.
Deer and Beer's August 22nd through 24th.
Okay.
And Bloomington, Illinois. McLean County Fairgrounds over there, deerandbeerfest.com. You can find more information out on the website. Lots of good stuff. Dude, it's going to be a good time as always. We do $100,000 in door prize giveaways. We're giving away my JJ African Safari. Two of them.
Shit,
we're giving away
dude.
two. We're giving away two safaris.
What are the packages on them? Do you know?
I think there's 3 animals.
Okay.
And it's a 7-day stay. I think it's a kudu, an impala, and then a choice of a certain spread of animals. Like it was like a choice of like 6 animals. I think it was like an ostrich, a warthog.
Yeah, like a Plains game type situation.
Yeah. It was some random exotics and Plains game, but it was like a choice of 5 or 6 animals for your third, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Daniel there. So what I'm doing actually is I'm giving away one just for signing up, just for subscribing your email on our website, so I can email you maybe 2 to 3 times a year. I'm not going to solicit anybody too much. I'm not going to hardcore spam anybody. But I'm trying to collect some emails, some people who are interested in these events. All you got to do is put their email on my website, and boom, they're going to be entered into that drawing to win an African hunt. It doesn't cost them a damn thing.
Damn, you don't have to be at the show.
You don't have to be at the show for that one. You can literally just get on deerandbeerfest.com and subscribe. Bam, and then you're entered. And then the other one is at the show. You just you get a door prize ticket for coming to the show, and you can throw your door prize ticket right in that African hunt.
So riddle me this, Cole. If you sign up for the email and go to the show, is that 2 entries? 2 separate entries?
2 separate entries into 2 different hunts. I mean, there's 2 hunts I'm giving, not just one.
No, that's what I'm saying. So you enter 2 different giveaways just by signing up and then going.
Yes. Yes. But if you don't want to put your door prize ticket in the African hunt, you have a choice. We'll be able to. We're separating. We have targeted items in that door prize giveaway, so you can target the African hunt. You can target. Where PSE donated over 25 bows we're giving away. So you can throw your ticket in the bow drawing. You can throw it in for ground blind, crossbows, trail cameras, all kinds of stuff, and then we just have general merchandise that you can throw it into.
Nice.
So you'll be able to kind of inspect, like, okay, that bucket ain't got a whole lot. My odds are good in this bucket. You can do whatever you want. There's all kinds of options when there's $100,000 in door prize giveaways allocated. Thanks to some great sponsors.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's really good. And that's the thing too. It's like, I don't know. It's like if you want to win a African safari, then just sign up and not go to the show. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to go to the show and have a chance at a different African safari too, or just go to the show because it's a fucking awesome show. I've been there multiple times, and dude, I will say, like, you do a very good job hosting the show, getting together vendors, and like I said, like when I went to it the first time, it didn't feel like it felt like a smaller show, but it didn't feel like I was explaining earlier, where it was a smaller show, but it was all high quality vendors, and it's only getting better. Like every year, you strive to do better and better and better, and it's a fucking. I would say that it's probably, it's probably my favorite show. Like it is my favorite show of the trade show season. That, like, the timing is cool because it's not with all the other trade shows, so it's like different timing, and it's just a different vibe. Like, it's cool. It's more of like a relaxed, like, hangout vibe with like, vendors to go around and talk and all that stuff. So it's a really, really fun time.
And from a vendor perspective, I mean, I'm not going to say like the crowd's thick, but it's not like crazy, but these vendors do really well because, like dude, if you're a bow hunter coming to the show, I mean, bow season's a month away. There's stuff you need, so like, a lot of these vendors have all that stuff you need. So they do really well. And they love, like, they're lucky to have their spots because, it's limited space, like I can't just, I'm sign up every vendor I got and create more competition for them all. So they just all do well. There's generally not a lot of competition amongst the the categories of stuff they're selling.
Mhm.
Like I might have 2 or 3 knife guys. I might have 2 or 3, tree stand guys. Like there's not like 10 tree stand guys or 10 of this or 10 of that. Like it's a nice spread,
Yeah, it is a good
of
spread.
good quality vendors.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And like I said, the timing of it's great because it is right before season. And it's just a
yeah,
good time to like, everyone's starting to think about deer hunting again. Like they're really starting to think about it. They're starting to get velvet pictures and all this other stuff. So they're really getting the mindset of hunting again. And then to have a show thrown in right there, right when it's in the forefront of your mind. Because honestly, like the springtime trade show stuff, it's like you're kind of gearing up for turkey season a little bit, but at the same time, like a lot of guys just got done struggling for all season. And they're kind of like,
yep,
man, I just want to take a break for a little bit
yep,
and, get back into it a little bit later. You can't, like, a lot of guys aren't shooting their bows as much because it's winter time and all that stuff. Winter and early spring. Like right now, like August is perfect because it's like, it's warm. It's nice. You're
yeah,
getting back into the mood to go hunting. You're gearing back up for hunting season. So it's a really good, well-timed show, and it's ran very well. Like, and you do a really good job, like running around, like just keeping everyone like entertained and keeping things going and keeping things fun. So
thank you.
yeah, it's a really fun show. I really like
Yeah,
it. So
it's awesome.
hopefully you
I
can
love
keep
I love
going.
hearing that, Jacob. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome for
Yeah,
whatever
I'm
it's
gonna keep
worth. I
going.
mean,
Yeah. It's worth a lot, that's why I do it. That's
yeah,
why I do it.
that's perfect.
So, and hopefully I can, take this same success and put it into the Deer Classic and blow that thing up again.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah,
Ultimate goal.
yeah, because the Illinois Deer Classic that was a really big deal back in the day until until they shut it down.
Dude, I was walking around that show, when I was 8 and 10 years old, and it was a monster. It was in 3 different buildings, and like obviously for being a kid, my core memory is it was at a catfish pond at the time. They bring in those little ponds for kids to fish out with PVC poles and strings, and you got to keep your catfish.
Mm-hmm.
When like that's what I fished in. That's what I remember. Like just targeting the fish. They had that one. They'd always have the one albino fish in there. You're like, that's the trophy. That's the one you want.
Yeah.
You're all the kids are chasing that albino around the pond at the little swimming pool.
Uh-huh.
But that show, dude, that was a really good show back in the day, and I miss it. And with Deer and Beers at the same location, it saw its highest success. Did you know that?
I didn't. No.
Yeah. So the McLean County Fairgrounds, that same venue is where the Deer and Turkey Classic used to be.
Okay.
But that Berkey's Tractor Supply, that's right next door. That was the big building that had them, that hosted that show, and then they bled off into the other smaller buildings. But they had to sell off that big building back in like 2008, so they couldn't
Oh.
host that size of a show anymore. So that's why the Deer and Turkey Classic had to move.
Okay.
So and then once it moved, it just kind of it lost a lot of momentum that it had. It's
Yeah.
just is where it is. It's been coming back. It's like John's done a great job over the last few years, kind of building it back up. And, I'm hoping to take that momentum and run with it and take it to the next, to the next phase.
Yeah. Well, and he's been doing a great job with Iowa Deer Classic, and he's been doing that for a long time. So
that show's a monster, bro.
it is. It is. There's a lot of shit. Like, honestly, it's like on the verge of being like too much stuff, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's because he's bringing people through the door.
Yeah.
Like as long as he's bringing enough people through the door to support all the vendors that are there, like that's the number one thing.
Yep. And he's got like all sorts of shit there. There's all sorts of stuff that you didn't even think about that you might even be interested in purchasing is there. There's just so much shit. But that's one thing also, like there's a place for that, but then there's also a place for, like you were saying, like much more targeted vendors, like you don't need to fill it with a bunch, because in the Iowa Deer Classic, I will say there is a lot of stuff that I personally just don't give two shits about, and that almost has nothing to do with deer hunting. It's like what are we doing here? But at the same time, they're selling shit left and right, so I'm like, well, people do like it, so I get it now. I guess it's just might not be my cup of tea, but someone else likes it. But at the same time, like with you, it's very much targeted for like, hunters. There's not you're not gonna have a lot of like flea markety type stuff, and that's great.
Yeah, that's it. I want everybody walking around not looking at bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering why they came.
Yeah, right.
Like they got to walk around going, "Oh, damn, look, damn, that's the new Matthews bow. Damn, that's the new, whatever,
Yeah.
so."
Yeah. That's cool, man. Well, awesome. Well, I'm excited to go this year. So, I guess that's that. So we'll see you in August, buddy.
Sweet, brother. We'll see you in August, bud. August 22nd.
Yeah,
Maybe even the day before.
Well, I still have a job
Maybe
that
not.
I have to go to. So
Okay.
I can't go there the day before, unfortunately. But I will be there Saturday and Sunday. And
Okay.
Friday
you're gonna
night.
miss Friday?
Nope, I won't.
Oh,
I'll
you'll
be there Friday night.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
good.
That's
yeah,
what.
I was gonna say you better be there.
No,
at least
I'm
for
sorry.
Oakland.
Yeah, I missed that. But I will be there. So I get off work at 4. I'm just gonna zip down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The gates open at 8 p.m. for the Bone Collector Bash, but Dustin Huff, the first musician, he's gonna get up there at 9.
Okay. Perfect. That's
So,
literally perfect timing for me. So.
Yep.
I might skate out of work a little early too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how busy I am that day. But awesome, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on. It's been fun.
Yep. Yeah, dude. It was a good combo. Thanks for having me.